Coming to IAIA is a good decision, and it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made.
The Institute of American Indian Arts really is a flagship institution. There is no other institution like it in the country.
We've been in existence for 50 years, and I think we've continued to evolve.
50 years. Has it been 50 years?
A task force came out to many of the cultural areas in the United States of the Native American people that was sent out by John F. Kennedy. And he wanted to find out, or this task force did, what it was that the government was doing wrong for Indian education. And the report was that they were killing the culture. And so, as a result, the Bureau of Indian Affairs organized and established this school called the Institute of American Indian Arts.
The idea of what became the IAIA started in 1960-61. Dr. George Boyce, who was an educator, had the idea of a native school with an arts component, and he was successful in persuading Lloyd New, a visionary Native leader, to come to Santa Fe and be the director of this new arts element of the IAIA.
I still talk to young people who say it's a place to discover oneself. And once you discover oneself, you'll find that you can accomplish an awful lot.
My mother had read an article in the paper about a new Indian art school opening up in Santa Fe, and would I be interested in attending? And I said yeah, and that was back in 1962. So I was one of the first students that attended.
I think if you look at the history of the Institute of American Indian Arts, we've got a rich history, and beginning in 1962 when we first opened as a Bureau of Indian Affairs school, but quite different. Not only did we have a focus on art, but for the first time, Native culture was considered to be the basis for developing the students' creativity.
I came here as a student in the 80s. We were like refugees, essentially, occupying the temporary barracks on the College of Santa Fe campus. And so the big change is the buildings. Look at the beautiful buildings that are all around us.
Well, I think we've continued to expand our campus, so we've added a number of buildings, state-of-the-art buildings with technology up to date.
This is my heart. It is a good heart. Weaves a
This land has been prayed over many, many times. And so it's a special place. It's a place that many people find a new beginning. So the place is important.
The experiences that I've had here have helped me really grow as a young woman. I came in, I was only 17 years old, and now I'm 21, and within that time span, I feel I've really grown a lot.
I think what keeps me here is the quality of the people that come through the school.
I have been amazed with the creativity of our faculty and staff and students.
This is my soul. It is a good soul. It tells me, come here, forgetful one.
We've been able to attract some of the best students and the best faculty here. It's a real honor to be able to teach our own community and to really develop that new leadership amongst the many different nations that are represented in our student body. That's why I'm here.
Here I feel that this is my family, and I always miss them when I'm back home with my own family, and it feels good to know that here, that we have people that care about us.
The time has come for one of our favorite yearly traditions around here, our annual salute to the year's college graduating class, including some of the great college traditions in this country, some of those hopeful and grateful graduates, and some of the best sends-offs for the class of 2012.
It's been incredibly nourishing for me to be in an environment that is so traditionally rich.
It's cap and gown mixed with traditional regalia and the symbols from the communities that we come from.
I think that's what really makes us unique, is the intertribal college that we have here and the students that we serve.
I was here as a student, now as kind of, one of the elders here. So we have a responsibility, those of us who occupy these positions, to groom new leaders. And so I really do believe that that's what we're doing here, is that we're building leadership through the arts.
We've had a number of challenges with funding, with not having a permanent campus, but we've overcome all of that because of the importance of Native art and culture to this country and to Native people. And I think that that's why we continue to not only exist today, but to thrive. And you look around at our campus and the support we have here in the community, as well as the nation and the United States Congress, I think the future is really bright for the Institute of American Indian Arts.
There's just so much room to grow for this to be, an even more amazing school than it already is.
Well, I see that, we're just at the beginning of another era. 50 years in some ways is not much, really. So I think that they're going to be looking back at our history and seeing this 50th year as a turning point.
And it's just amazing that this institution, the IAIA, has been here, for 50 years, and that, right now as I'm going into my senior year marks the 50th year that it's been in existence. And I'm excited, and I hope that, IAIA, keeps growing and advancing in numerous ways to draw, other Indian scholars and indigenous scholars and all the scholars here to learn and obtain their education.
This is my song. It is a good song.